And welcome back to the 40 channel. So today we're going to do a little bit of a review. Off-grid camping. Right, so quite often on my camping trips, I'll take my GoPros, I'll take my drone, sometimes I take my laptop, the whole lot. So I'm going to do a little bit of filming and I do a bit of editing first thing in the morning, mostly before most people get up. I'm going to show you my kit and it is actually quite antiquated, quite heavy and quite lumbersome, but there's something totally new on the horizon that's going to be a game changer from my off-grid camping when we just chuck the swag in the back of the Troopy and head out for a couple nights. Righto, let's check out exactly what I've got and what I've used in the past. Right, I'm going to show you what I've taken away when we just do a bit of swag camping or a few overnights when we just take the Troopy or Jack's Hilux. Now, this is what we've got. Now I bought this portable battery box a few years ago. I took it on a long drive for a drought and I've used it many times when I've been out camping in the back of the Troopy to charge things up and to run things and all that type of stuff. This weighs nearly 30 kilos. It is heavy. Couple of 12 volt outlets, has a very basic digital readout on the top. The other thing I needed was a little inverter. Now this is tiny, this is only a 150 watt inverter, but it suited my needs. We take a light because the Troopy doesn't really have any interior lights or anything like that, and you just might need it for when you're trying to look around camp and that type of stuff. Righto, so I've got my fold out solar panel. So we take that away, that's about, I think that's a 120 watt solar panel. My solar charging box. So this is all the gear that I take on the very basic setup for my off-grid camping if I need some power. There's a fair bit of investment here and this is very basic, simple technology that's very heavy and takes up quite a lot of room when you're trying to pack stuff. And once it's in the Troopy, I strap it down. I don't take it in and out because it's just too hard. Now, something really exciting. BLUETTI have contacted me and they've said, hey Jace, we would love you honest review on one of our products, a portable power system. And I thought, yeah, righto, I'm always up for free gear. Little did I know that this thing is gonna be pretty cool. I haven't even pulled out of the box yet, but I did a whole lot of reading on their website, checked out a couple other reviews, and I'm pretty excited. So pretty much all of this, except the solar panels, because we'll need them, but all this can be gone. Righto, so what have BLUETTI sent me? Well, let's check it out. This is what they've sent me. The EB3A. Now, straight away, I picked this up and I'm thinking, yeah, righto, that's pretty light. Is it really as good as they say? There it is, this is the BLUETTI EB3A. This thing is tiny and ridiculously light. Surely this can't meet up to the standard of what I had before. Righto, this small little compact unit has some claims that we're going to really test out. One, this has a 600 watt inverter with a 1200 watt surge rate on it. 600 watts coming out of this little box. That's 4 times what I had before with 260 watt hours. Now they also claim that it has a really quick charge rate. You can charge this thing to 80% in less than 30 minutes. 30 minutes, mate, that's half the time of pulling up and meeting someone and having a good old chat about a Land Cruiser. How quick is that? Talking about charging, let's talk about how this is charged, because before we need to do anything, I need to make sure that this thing is fully charged before we chuck it in the back of the Troopy and head out bush and try it. So they can say that you can charge this 6 different ways. 240 volt mains power, you've got solar charging, car 12 volt charging. Now the only thing I've noticed that isn't in this kit is the 12 volt charger that plugs into the car. Honestly, I think that would have been really, really good in this application because most of the time I would have this sitting in the car and it's charging while I'm driving. That's what I did with the old system. So you can also charge it off a generator. That's pretty straightforward. But something that's quite unique about this thing that's a little bit different is you can do dual charging. Now you can charge with AC and solar, or AC and one of the other adapters. This thing has a full battery management system built into this tiny little box, which means I don't need to worry about carrying around one of these little solar controllers, because there's a whole lot of safety features built inside this thing as well. First thing is it is a lithium iron phosphate battery. Over your standard lithium batteries, it's supposed to be a lot safer, and you get 4 to 5 times more charge cycles out of this thing. Now they're claiming you can get 2,500 charge cycles out of this at 80%. For the amount of times you'd actually go out off grid and use this thing, 2,500 times will probably last you an entire lifetime. Well, I am halfway to 90, so it'll last my lifetime, I'd imagine. Now let's talk about some of the safety features, because we need to know all this type of stuff before we chuck it in the Troopy and head out bush. It's got overload protection, low voltage, over temperature, low temperature, short circuit and overcurrent. All those protections are all built into this tiny little box. This thing has 8 charge outputs. Now, if you're looking at the front of this thing, you probably can only count 7. Well, that's because one of the outputs is actually wireless. That's right, on the top of this box, you can drop your phone on the top of it and it starts charging. So that means if you forget to bring your cord or it gets broken or lost, drop your phone straight on the top and it'll wireless charge it. How cool is that? Our 12 volt outlets here, we've got a car 12 volt, we've got 2 USB-A's, and we've got a USB-C, which is rated at 100 watts, plus our 240 volt outlet. Now the last thing that I want to point out right on the front of this thing is our light. It's light enough that we can run around with our light and we can look for things if we really get stuck. Wireless operating system in it. Where's the remote, you said? Well, it didn't come with a remote because it doesn't need to. It's all Bluetoothed through your phone. And the cool thing is you just download the app. Your phone now becomes your data management and your on-off control for this box. I can see how much power is coming in. I can see what's charging. I can turn the light on and off. I can turn the whole system on and off if I need to. How cool is that? What that means is that I can have a light going. I can be in my swag, and I can turn it all off without having to climb out of my swag on a wet or a cold night. So far this box sounds very impressive and really, really cool. It looks the goods. The little display here on the front here, it looks really, really cool. It has a whole lot of stuff going on there. But what's the point of talking about all of this here in my shed? What are we going to gain from me just telling you what it does, which I've probably just read off the webpage, which I have, without testing this thing in the real world? So what we're going to do now is we're going to chuck it in the back of the Troopy, we're going to head out and we're going to take all my gear with me and we're going to see how well this thing actually performs in the real world. Righto, let's head out to the Aussie bush and actually see if this thing lives up to everything I've just told you about. Let's check it out. All our GoPro stuff. Our Waco fridge, which is running off the BLUETTI as we speak. And we'll just throw the solar panel in, we're ready to go. Taking as much equipment as I can to give this thing a really good test. See how it goes. I know we've got to an absolute beautiful spot down here. This is Flat Rock, just outside of Bathurst. Absolute cracker of a spot. Great spot to try out the BLUETTI. Righto, 62%. It's probably been running that fridge for about 2 hours now. That fridge is basically at temperature, so it's not going to use too much more power from the BLUETTI box. But while we're here, we're going to set up, we're going to have some afternoon tea. Might take the BLUETTI up, set up our laptop and just enjoy some of this scenery, eh? Righto. Now I've got all my footage and sit back in this beautiful scene and do some editing. We've given the BLUETTI EB3A a fairly decent workout today. We've run the fridge on it, flat stick for a few hours, probably about 3 hours all up. We ran the laptop on it for about half an hour. We've charged our GoPros. We've also half charged our drone. Tried to do a little bit of drone shooting, but it is so windy today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the drone up and get some really good footage, but that's okay. We're here for the BLUETTI. Plugged in the solar panel, so put a bit of power back into it. So this here is quite impressive. This little tiny unit is a full off-grid, self-sufficient little box. So we've been able to use all the applications on it, and it has been absolutely awesome. Been really, really impressed with it. The great thing is you can have it next to your swag, or it's sitting in the back of the Troopy, running a few lights and stuff like that. With the app, I can turn it on and off. I can see how much power is coming in. I can see how much power is going out. They've really thought of everything, and they've crammed it into such a small box and kept it nice, light and portable. So well done, BLUETTI. This is absolute little ripper. Really, really think this is fantastic. Looking forward to using this a lot more out on the trails when we go out camping. I know the kids will be very keen to take it off my hands and use it when they go camping as well. So this is the real world application that I wanted to share with you guys, that I'll be using when I'm out and about, when we go out camping. The kids will be stealing it from me. They'll be using it as well. The cool thing about this is small, light, portable. Now you saw the pretty antiquated, heavy lumberson system I had before. Now we added all of that up. Compared to this, you're not paying much more, but you're getting so much more for your dollar. So BLUETTI, you've done a fantastic job on this. If I knew that this thing was out there for the dollars it was a few years ago, I would have jumped on it. If you're into off-grid camping, or you need a little bit of power when you're out and about, check out BLUETTI. They've got a whole range of stuff. This is obviously their smallest power unit, but on their webpage they have some fairly decent sized power units that can run small little cottages by the look of it. Anyway guys, that's it for me. We're gonna pack it all up, jump back in the Troopy, and we're gonna take our couple hours and drive back home. It has been an absolute awesome day being able to trial all this stuff and review it. I'm pretty thankful that BLUETTI sent it to me. It's been a pleasure to be able to review it and test it out. And would I recommend it? Absolutely. And I'm not just saying it because they sent me a free one. I am genuinely impressed. Righto guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for tuning in. And if you guys want to keep up with the Troopy build, the fire truck build, or any reviews and camping trips we do, make sure you subscribe down the bottom. Check out our TikTok, Instagram, all that type of stuff that's out there. And until next time, take care of yourselves.